Welcome, welcome everybody. Let me fix this mat real quick. Welcome everybody to Community Fit and another MoveLab Foundations. I am your host, James, and I'm super excited to be here with you today. If you are brand new to MoveLab, there's only one rule you're going to need to remember, and that rule is whatever you're doing it 110% totally, completely, no questions asked, correctly. Why? Because there's absolutely no wrong way to move. Our job today is to help demystify some movement, help you explore movement, help you get in better touch with your body, for a lot of reasons, for health reasons, for life reasons, and hopefully for you to be able to join us for MoveLab Dynamics on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you are familiar with MoveLab, welcome back. You already know there are three components to MoveLab. We always start off with a little breath work, and then we move right into some of our nervous system tools, and then we finish off with the exploration, play, and exercise stuff at the tail end. The front end is super important because it is the breathing tools, it is the nervous system reset tools that allow your nervous system the capacity and the robustness and the resilience to get through the rest of the stuff. I'm very uninterested in small waists and big arms and all of the classic fitness stuff. I am interested in well-being. I'm interested in you having transferable skill sets for the rest of your life. I'm interested in demystifying being in relationship with your body. And in particular, I'm in demystifying these transferable processes. And what I mean by that is exercise is stress for the body. And so undoubtedly at some points today, your system's going to get ramped up, just like it does when you're stressed at work or stressed at home or stressed out in the world. And those are the moments where we can begin to implement the nervous system tools to help us re-regulate. So even though the top of the hour feels, or the top of the half hour feels like, oh, okay, that's nice, but what does that have to do with any of this? It has everything to do with all of this. So having said all of that, let's go ahead and get started with a little breathing exploration. Today, we're going to do physiologic sighs. So physiological sighs are a double inhale followed by a single exhale. That's an inhale, inhale, long exhalation. If you can do it through the nose, out through the mouth, all the better. I'm going to demo it once, and then together we're going to do it 5 times today. So physiological sigh. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Ready? Sounds like this. 5 together. Four more. Just a few more. Last couple. One more. Then get comfortable, whatever that means for you. And let's start off with some nervous system tools. Our body really likes rhythmic movements. So we're going to go with a little bit of a seaweed spine, which later will become really handy for what's called falling practice. I don't think we're going to get into that today, but stay tuned because part of MoveLab is literally teaching you to be in better relationship with falling. There's a reason. For now, we're just going to rock side and side. Thinking that maybe your spine is seaweed, you're just going to let it be moved by the ocean current. For some people, it's easier to sense that I'm rocking left butt cheek and right butt cheek. Still others are more visual, and it's like, well, is my horizon line shifting and changing? We have a riding reflex, so for most people, they who are new to this practice, they'll kind of keep their head going. And if you have vertigo or balance stuff and you know who you are, maybe this is a good option for you. And if not, and maybe even if you do, maybe if it's mild, we want to get used to letting the head move on and off balance. Now, that feels really good. You can do that. Or you can go forward and backwards. like a seated cat-cow. But more so than like nailing your cow and nailing your cat and really bending, what we're doing is creating rhythm. There's rock there. And I can go side to side, I can go forward and back. Or I can just sort of get this, I call it invisible hula hoop action going. Just thinking rhythm. Like our bodies, there's a reason why babies like to be rocked. There's a reason why if you have not been on a swing set in a number of years, go to a playground and get on a swing set. Not for like a minute, but for like 10 minutes, 10 solid minutes, and just swing. And it will be the most centering, relaxing experience you've had in a very, very long time. So, rocking. It's an important one for today. Next one, orientation. I give this one a lot, especially in MoveLab Foundations, because it's so simple to do and we forget to do it when we're exercising. Come out of the movement, come out of the experience, and just starts to look around the room. Just notice what's in the room. Here, that might sound like plant, thermostat, mirror, window. You're just naming the things in the room. And then lastly, take one hand, place it onto the sternum, the chest bone, and just do a little tap. What feels good to you there? Is it a fast tap, a slow tap, a hard or a soft tap? Does it stay in one place or does it move up and down? These are things you got to know. What feels good to your body? Good. So reset tools for today. We have physiological side. We have an orientation practice. We have rocking or rhythmic motion. And we have a tap. So if at any time you're like, I need a break, rather than just stopping or going, oh, I'm going to pause, go into, choose one of those reset tools. I will likely model at some point me doing that, but I trust that you now have the beginnings of knowingness of when and what to do with that. So today, our movement practice is going to be guided by two themes, two very, very, very important themes. The first theme is shape, and the second theme is task. If you can begin to consider, get curious about, and even understand shapes and tasks, you have all the understanding you are ever going to need about exercise, because that's what it comes down to. What shape am I making? How am I changing my shapes? We have a practice for that, number one. And then the number two is, what task am I doing? If you think about all of the exercises, and this is the reason I start with a lot of these things, is the stumbling block, the hurdle, the reason you're not doing more movement. Often, especially if you've had injuries, is because you're afraid of getting it wrong. You're afraid of getting it wrong because what that means is I'm practicing doing the wrong thing. I hurt myself. It feels harder when I'm doing it wrong. And if we just distill it down to shapes and tasks, often all of the exercises in the world begin to make more sense. Why? Because what an exercise, you can say squat, you can say lunges, you can say push-ups, Pilates exercises, yoga exercises, CrossFit, all of the exercises is a movement that is composed of changing your shapes with a specific task involved. And the distinction between what we're doing today and what you would learn in a gym class is all of the other rules put on top of it. Don't do this with your shoulders. Don't do these with your shoulders. Do this with your hips. Make sure your knees are here. Make sure we're going to leave all that aside. And all we're going to focus on today is shapes and tasks. If you can just remember some of this, you have a very robust, big, diversified movement practice. So let's get started. Go ahead and lie all the way down. Open up your arms to the letter T. Let's just get a little basic movement in. My knees and my feet are more or less together, and I'm going to drop them over to one side. And then I'm going to drop them over to the other side. We're just limbering up a bit. Dropping it over. Dropping it over. That's the task. right? I'm in this shape, and then I'm going to send my knees to one side. I'm going to bring them back to center, and then I'm going to drop my knees. Bring them back to center. Anything else that happens, happens. If your shoulders need to move, if your feet need to move, great. Dropping and dropping. Now you can come back to that or back to center. My right hand touches my left hand and then come back. My left hand touches my right hand and then come back. My right hand touches my left hand, whatever else happens, happens. And then my left hand touches my right hand. One more of each of those. One hand touches the other, back to center, other hand touches the other, back to center. Then right hand and left foot touch each other out in front of me and back to their home. Left hand, right foot touch each other out in front of me and then back home. I touch and I go. I touch and I go. Now, beyond that, I can start to get curious. If that's the task, some on my right arm touches my left leg and vice versa, maybe I go, well, what else can touch? Maybe it's a hand to a knee. Maybe it's an elbow to a knee. Maybe it's a back of the hand to a back of the thigh. Maybe it's an inside of the elbow to an inside of a thigh. Maybe it's a finger to a toe. And I'm just going to get curious about all of the different things on one arm that can touch all of the different things on the opposite leg. And I can go as fast or slow as I like. The nice thing about this particular exercise is it's literally making you smarter as you do it. Anytime we cross-body touch, little new synapses begin to form. Good. Then both legs are going to strategize how to lift and lower. If this doesn't work for you, take a break. Continue on with one of the previous. Then I can go, well, what if one hand touches both feet? One hand touches both. One hand touches same foot. One hand touches opposite foot. And then make your own rules. You get to decide what the task is. Is it one? Is it same side? Is it opposite? Is it both? Is it both hands and one foot? What can you create there? Ta-da! Diversification in your movement practice. Four, three, two, one. From there, let's go into shapes. We've already been doing a little bit of shape shifting there, but maybe it wasn't explicit. This is how I like to teach it. Right now, spread out into the biggest, widest, broadest shape you can make. Probably looks something like a starfish. Then change your mind, bring your knees in, grab a hold, maybe even tuck your head, and become the littlest shape you can make. Then go big again. Then make a little shape. Then make a big shape. Then a little shape. Then a big shape. Now I'm already modeling it, but let's go a little deeper. Make your little shape. Hold. Simply move your left hand somewhere else. You've changed your shape. Go big. Lift your right hand up to the ceiling. You have changed your big shape. Go little. Look to the right. You've changed your shape. Go big. Look at your left hand. You've changed your shape. Every little shift, every little decision creates new shapes. So go big, go little, go big, go little, go big, go little, go big and little, big and little, big, little, big, little, big, little, rest, reset. Give your system time to calm down. Now, from there, straighten out your legs. Take your arms out to the letter T, legs sort of as wide as the mat. Right hand is going to come up and touch left foot. And back down. Notice how I used a very different cue than I used to begin with in the previous exercise, where I said foot and hand will find each other out in front of your body. The task here is my feet don't get to move. They are glued, they are stuck, they are down. And I have to find a way to get up to that foot, right? I can use anything else. All of the other options are available. Somehow I have to get to that foot. If this is above your pay grade, go to one of the previous exercises or spend some time resetting. Again, right hand finds left foot and back down. Left hand finds right foot and back down. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Now, currently, I'm taking the same route, right? It's like if you go to the grocery store, you likely drive the same direction to that grocery store from your house every single time. Although there are probably 10 to 15 other routes you could take if you wanted to. So some of them might be shorter, but harder. Some of them might be longer and actually easier. So right hand is going to touch left foot, but your right hand is going to first reach over towards the left hand and then come up to touch left foot and then come back around. Other hand comes over, reaches, and comes back around. I could even reach up and back. That hand could caress the body as it comes up. I could also shift how I utilize the support arm, the other arm. I could put it on my chest and go, well, I'm not going to use that arm to support me. It's a different route. Lastly, I could change where my feet are, meaning I could go to a different grocery store. I could make them a little wider. I could make one longer and one shorter so that as I come up, I'm essentially going in different directions. I'm changing the way my muscles and bones, and most importantly, cells are moving around each other. And then rest. Now, we started to play a little bit with some rotations at the beginning, right? Knees fall over, knees fall over. Upper body goes over, upper body goes over. Well, what happens if we make a little shape and then everything goes over? In a little shape and everything goes over. I'm over, and I'm over. And what if we went over, all the way over, and then made a big shape? And then made a little shape, and went over, and all the way into a big shape. Little shape, I go all the way to the left. That's the task. I make a shape. I change my shape. I go all the way over to the right. That's the task. I make a shape. I change my shape. I go all the way over. I make a brand new shape. I make a different shape. I go all the way over. I make a different shape all the way over. Now, I can come over, I can make the shape, and I can even add on a task. What if we said, how little of you can touch the floor? Then make a little shape, roll over, make a big shape. How little of you can touch the floor? Little shapes, roll, big, get off the floor. Little shape, roll, get off the floor. Little shape, roll, big, off the floor. Little shapes, roll, big, off the floor. Littles, roll, off the floor. Little, roll, go big, off the floor. Sit up. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Task, open up your legs wide. Both hands together, try their best to touch the toes. Both hands together, try their best to touch the toes. Let's make it even easier. Both hands together become paint brushes. Imagine dipping your hands into your favorite color paint. And we're just going to paint the legs and back up. Paint the legs and back up. So I can go task, touch and go, touch and go, or I can go visual. Paint and up. Paint and up. Paint your legs, reach for your toe, make the littlest shape you can. Go big. Paint or touch, little. Go big. Paint and touch. Go big. Paint and touch. Go big. Simple enough, right? Onto your side. Now, sideline leg work makes its appearance in calisthenics, in Pilates, and in a lot of stuff. And there's usually a lot of rules to it. Do this with your ribs. Do this with your pelvis. What if we simplified it? We lift an arm up and we said, this hand is glued in space. And that top foot is going to do its best to come up and touch and go. Touch and go. Now, if you don't have that flexibility, no one said your leg had to be straight. Change the shape. Change the shape. But this, bringing your hand to your foot, is not the exercise. Why? Because there's one single task. That foot has to come up and touch your hand. Foot, leg can change shape, or determine maybe your hand is better placed somewhere else. Make the movement work for you. Change where that hand is again. It can go behind you. It can go up, in front, down low, way behind. It can go any number of places. Think of all of the different shapes your leg can make. 2, get there. Yeah, 1. Other side. Hopefully by now, some of the movement practices you've had in the past are beginning to demystify a little bit. Like, oh, that's Pilates leg work. Oh, that's a sit-up. Oh, that's a stretch. That's whatever it is. And maybe, hopefully, you understand it a little bit better. Touch and go. Touch and go. Touch and go. Hand moves, touch, go, touch, go, move again, touch, touch, keep moving that hand, touch, 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 2, get there, 1, yes, onto your belly. From there, just come up to your shoulders and then relax. Push down to go up and then relax. Push with your arms to come up, relax. Push, relax. Push, relax. 2 and 1. Relax a bit. Rock to the left, rock to the right. Go back to that seaweed spine. Just moving. Just relaxing, getting some movement there. Then let's play a game of touch and go. So from there, my right hand and my right foot are going to touch each other behind my back. My left hand and left foot are going to touch each other behind my back. Right to right, left to left. Right to right, left to left. Now, for some people, that's a lot. If so, be there. If not, right hand, left foot. Opposite, 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 opposite. Or look for what you're touching. In order to go up, something's got to push down. So if I want here, this grounding arm really has to push to create this action. If I sink into that shoulder, I get jammed up. So this becomes this when I use my full body. Three, and two, and one. Push yourself up to hands and knees. From there, the task becomes visual. Look for your belly button so much that you really try to bring your nose towards your belly button. Then paint the mat with your eyes, like you're painting a line forward to the ceiling, up, 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 up. Then use your eyes to look for your own belly button and try to bring your nose to your belly button. Then look forward and try to bring your nose to the ceiling. Eyes look for belly button, nose tries to touch it. Eyes look forward, nose touches ceiling. One more. And then rest. Seaweed spine, or just some movement here. A little rocking, a little rhythm. I could go forward and back with that rhythm. Just trying to get some nervous system relaxed and think of all of the ways you're moving through your wrists and feet, shoulders and hips. And then sit. Sit in a way that is doable, but maybe new feeling. So if this might be it, this doesn't have to be it. You can sit with your legs out, with your legs wide. You can sit on a chair. You can sit on a pillow. You can sit crisscross, figure it out. But some way that doesn't feel intuitive, some way that feels new. And then just get a little rhythm. From here, make a little shape. Then big shapes. Little, big. Little, change the little shape. Big, change the big shape. I'll even face this way. Little, change the little shape. Big, change the big shape. Go little, go big. Go little, go big. Go little, go big. Go little, go big. From there, stand up. Make a big shape. Then make a little shape. Make a big shape. Make a little shape. Make a big shape. Make a little shape. Make a big shape. Make a little shape. Big shapes. Little shapes. Big shapes. Little shapes. Big, little. Big, little. Big, little. Big, little. Big, little. Big, little. Every one's is different. You do not make the shapes I make. You make the shapes your body makes. Big, little, big, and little. So think about what you've experienced today, what you've distilled from that. What questions does that answer for you? Where does that show up? Where could you be bigger? Where could you be littler? Then place your hands on your heart. Take a nice deep inhale into your own heart. Tell yourself, thank you for showing up. Take a look at your room. Ooh, it was an important vessel for you to move with and within today. Then take a look at anyone on screen, anyone in the room with you. Thank you so much for showing up today, being a part of our community, and inviting us to be yours. Thanks, everybody.
James, thank you, everybody. You did have a question about knees again, James, and I noticed, Sheila, your hand was raised. I'm not sure if you had a question or not, but I couldn't figure out how to talk with you privately. So if you have a question, just go ahead and pop it in the chat, and I'm happy to answer it for you.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to say real quick, open enrollment season is upon us. So if you are looking for a change in your health plan or just want to see what your options are, we definitely want to invite you to check out Western Health Advantage if your employer offers that plan. So just wanted to give that shout out real quick. All right, go ahead, James.
Okay, really quick. Hey, Patricia, I'm guessing it is
This one.
Yeah.
And as I said at the top of the hour, you don't have to do that one. And within that exercise was also cued, sit in a way that feels doable, but new for you. So for me, that was it. If I was here, I could have gone, go little, go big, go little, go big, go little, go big. So to take, I know it's so hard. It's such a human-y thing to do, to watch someone do something and try to replicate that thing. But the point of MoveLab is for me to move like me and for you to learn to move more like you. If it is a knee pathology thing, I simply can't answer that online, and you can feel free to book an appointment with me. You can go to www.jamescrater.com and connect with me that way.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow, hopefully, for MoveLab Dynamic, and then Friday for Reset and Restore. So thanks a lot.
awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.